Welcome back to the CineChatters podcast with me, Harvey, and Connor.
Hey guys.
We are back again with episode 2 of our podcast. Really fun doing the last one.
Surprised we even got it, not gonna lie. Most podcasts die at this point, but
It took a few attempts, but we got there. We've got a few things lined up today, including we're going to be discussing Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which released a few... How long ago was it? Like a week ago?
Yeah, around about then.
Yeah, which released about a week ago. We're going to be discussing What If as well, episodes 4 and 5, which are the newest ones released that we haven't covered yet. We're also going to be talking about the new Cinderella film starring Camila Cabello.
Yeah, very exciting.
Going to be an interesting one. And we're also going to be discussing the Rick and Morty season 5 finale. So yeah, look forward to that. But I think first, Connor, I have one question for you before we begin.
Okay, go on then.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
I don't know the Muffin Man.
You don't know the Muffin
Man?
Man?
No, I know. Of course I know the bloody Muffin Man.
Well, it's sort of... I'm sorry, that was so cringe. I was thinking the entire time, how can I bring in the challenges from last time? Basically, we're starting off with the CineChatters challenge here today. Yeah. In the last podcast at the end, me and Connor both set each other challenges, which we called the CineChatters challenge. And basically, we set each other 2 challenges to complete for the next time this podcast for us to review, and for you guys to watch us either cringe or fail. I don't really know.
Yeah, well, between episode we did our challenges, we recorded them, and we made them into TikToks for our TikTok. If you want to check that out, just a quick plug.
Plug the TikTok.
Are we going to show these on the laptop or the computer?
We'll put them up on the YouTube video as well, and we'll do our best to describe them for the listeners on other platforms. I don't know who to start with.
Okay, do you want to do...
So let's recap what the challenges were first. Yeah. So first, I set Connor's challenge is that he had to go to the cinema. He can watch anything of his choice. I think he went to watch Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I went and watched Shang-Chi.
But he has to go in a banana costume.
Yeah. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
My challenge for Harvey was that he had to bake gingerbread of either Gingy from Shrek or like Marvel characters, but I can see the thumbnail. It looks like he did Gingy.
I did Gingy, but I also did do something Marvel, so I did complete the challenge. And I have also got... I've got Gingy for you to... We can try him today.
Oh, alright, so. Nice. I think we should do mine first because you explained mine first.
Yeah, alright.
And then we'll
pop it up on the screen as I said. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so we're going to go with Connor's challenge first. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen it, so we're going to react right now. Okay, here we go.
I went and watched Shang-Chi in the cinema wearing a banana costume.
Okay. Oh my god, it's coming up the escalator.
Let me explain how I got in this situation. Me and my mate run a film podcast called the CineChatters podcast. Because no one knows about it yet. So, Spotify and YouTube now. Go check it out.
Oh, this is well made.
At the end of each episode, we give each other a challenge. In this episode, his challenge was for me to go to the cinema wearing a banana costume.
Okay.
And
I
can't turn down the I walked in with it. I didn't have to disappoint.
You're in there, mask on, banana costume.
We seem kind of fitting considering
just sat there. That's amazing. Why has no one questioned it?
However, don't worry, I took the banana costume off before the film started, so I didn't ruin anyone's cinema experience. And my mate will react to this in the next episode of our podcast.
That's amazing. Okay. I love that.
I have some things I have to say.
Go on then.
No one questioned it.
Literally,
I did. Okay, I might have seen some people in like the corner of my eye, sort of like looking at me and laughing and stuff. But no one questioned it before I even got to the cinema. So you know where the escalator is to get up to the cinema.
Yeah.
Well, you know that there's like that model castle.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like put the costume on there, and I was about to go, and this like old bloke was like, "Oh, do you know where the nearest toilets were?" And we just had this conversation about where the nearest toilets were, and he didn't even like question why I was in a banana costume or like look at me weird or anything. He was just talking to me normally.
That's ridiculous.
And then the person who I bought the ticket from, nothing
at all.
No one. I might have got like one person laugh when I was putting it on when I was leaving the cinema, but that was it.
What? So it's almost as if they were just... Yeah. It's like they see this every day.
I know. No one questioned it at all. But
that's mad.
Exiting the cinema was the most awkward thing ever because I didn't want anyone to like walk in front of me or behind me or whatever for when I exited. So I waited for every single person in the cinema to leave. so the cleaners were watching me walk out, and like there was people. Oh, it was awful.
Oh dear.
But I did it.
You did so well. I genuinely don't think I'd have the guts to do something like that.
I have to say credit to my brother for recording that, because Rio was going to come with me and watch it, but then she didn't want to come with me wearing a banana costume, so I went with Brandon. He recorded it.
That's amazing.
Oh.
I can't believe you even did that, to be honest.
I want to see yours now. Then.
You want to see mine?
Okay. Are you going to show me the TikTok first? Show me the TikTok first.
Yeah, you're going to see the TikTok, and then you're going to
thing.
try it. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So I made Gingy from Shrek. That's what the TikTok's about. It'll again be on the screen.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and.
All right.
Try
commentate.
Basically,
over
the
it.
TikTok is a cooking process. It's just me like the making of Gingy from Shrek.
Okay.
All right, go for it. You're gonna love the music. It took me hours to find.
You got the whole process.
I got the whole process.
I was expecting just the end of it.
The Muffin Man. The whole process went into this.
All that stirring,
Mixing.
I didn't know how difficult it was to make gingerbread men. Not
beat-
gonna lie. Damn,
It's
the
good,
song.
isn't it? Making
Oh.
Gingy took me about.
Did you draw that?
No, I printed it out.
You could have fooled me.
But actually, like making Gingy took me a couple hours.
I can tell.
Himself. That's all.
Look at that.
It was so hard.
I know the Muffin Man. I know the Muffin Man.
Has he got lines there? I didn't even realise.
Yeah, because his legs are snapped off in the first film.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they're stitched back on.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that. I think it actually looks sick.
The gumdrop buttons.
Yeah, oh, the gumdrop button. It looks so good.
Thank you.
It actually looks so good. Okay, I give you a pass on that. 100%.
You give me a pass.
What are the comments?
Did I do well?
That's pretty good, to be fair. My brother,
Nice.
he gave you a comment.
He did.
It actually looks
Did I
sick
like
though.
it? I did like it. Nice. Yeah, that was me making Gingy. Do you want to see Gingy
Yeah,
in the
I
flesh?
do.
Alright.
In real life.
I've got a tin here. Hang on. There he is. Let me get him out.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't snap. Don't snap. Oh god. This is a moment of truth. Has he held together? He has!
Yes!
Here he is! It's Gingy!
You know what you gotta do? You gotta put your hair down like Lord
No,
Farquaad and recreate
no,
the
no
Muffin
chance.
Man scene. You
No
snap
chance,
off his legs.
No chance. There's no chance I'm doing that. But here he is. It's Gingy in the
It
flesh.
looks really good.
On camera, it actually looks a lot better.
Yeah,
than-
it does actually look amazing.
Oh, I was so gassed when I made it. I wasn't too sure when the eyes were going on, for example, because
Yeah.
it was quite weird, just not without the. I thought it turned out quite well, and on top of that,
Yeah.
Gingy can go back. This hurt my hand icing this. What is that? Go away. I made a Captain America shield as well,
That
just
would look
because
sick.
I felt like I had to do something Marvel as well.
Yeah.
I think it's quite cool. Come on,
I think it looks really
considering I don't know how to bake.
good. No, I like him.
Thank you. You need a taste test though.
Okay.
Do you want to bite into Gingy or do you want to bite into the Captain America shield?
I have a bit of gingy.
A bit of Gingy. Oh, dude.
Because,
Should we break his
Well,
legs off
definitely.
like the Muffin Man?
yeah, do it.
Alright. Goes.
Oh, the perfect break. It broke in the slot as well.
Run as fast as you can. Sorry, it's quite cringe. I'll try the other leg. Now I can lay him on the table and
Have
do
you
the
not
scene.
tasted them at all?
No, I haven't
Oh,
tried
you
any
haven't?
of my bakes.
Okay.
No. Have
Thank
a
you.
foot.
Alright,
Alright, here
let's
we go.
taste them.
Oh god. Bit chewy.
Yeah. Overall,
Not as
Pretty
crisp
good.
as I'd have liked, but maybe a bit underbaked. I don't know. Not
I'd rate
bad.
them well.
Yeah.
It's like it kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of does taste like the Asda ones, you know? You know what I mean?
As the one. No, I promise I didn't use them. I promise.
No.
Hand on heart.
Yeah, I can tell. I don't think you get a shape like that from Asda.
No.
It looks amazing though. 10 out of 10 for looks.
Thank you. It took me so long.
And I think that was the main bit I was rating it on. It had to look like it, so...
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much covered the CineChatters challenge this time.
Yeah.
The first ever CineChatters challenge.
I know. So we're not gonna give each other a challenge this time.
No, not this time.
But we have got something to sort of replace it, but you'll find out about that in a minute.
Yeah. We'll probably do one next episode. We don't want to do it too often. So yeah, next time
It got to be like
we'll set
more of a special thing, so that we can actually give each other good challenges rather than these like
exactly
half challenges that aren't really that great.
Yeah.
For the first CineChatters challenge, it worked out well. There was no one dropped out. No one
No one had to do a forfeit.
Yeah.
Moving on from the CineChatters challenge, then we need to talk about probably the biggest thing that's happened in the past week or so.
Yeah.
Being
Definitely.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah. Well, we should clear up that in the last episode, the first episode of the podcast, we did speak about our expectations of it. And like
of course.
what we thought from the trailer and stuff. So now we've got like a post-watching sort of thoughts. So it's kind of like interesting. If people want to go back and watch the first episode, they can see what we thought before and now after.
Yeah.
But maybe in a separate video, we might put them together and see what differences. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I want you to start.
Me.
Because we kind of briefly said about it, and you kind of said that not that it was overhyped, but like you had stuff to say about it that weren't really to expectation kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So what I went and saw it. I can't remember when I saw it actually. It was a while ago, not too long ago actually.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Was it about 5-ish days ago? I didn't see it on release day. I wanted to, but I couldn't. No time.
Neither could I.
I thought that it was I did think it was a really solid film. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like in comparison to what we've got this year, obviously you can't really count the TV shows because they're a bit different. Yeah. So then you're comparing it to Black Widow so far this week.
Yeah. It's still kind of not really comparable.
I know,
though, is it?
but that's the only thing you can. Yeah. It's obviously triumphs above that in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I just felt like it was way overhyped than it actually was. I don't know how else to phrase it. It's just everyone I saw on like TikTok and like all other social medias, people were saying, "Oh, it's absolutely one of the best, if not the best, Marvel movie ever."
I think that is an over-exaggeration.
It was ridiculous. I was like, how can, like, don't get me wrong, I loved the film, but I don't understand how it could be so good that it's like better than Infinity War, Endgame, Spider-Man's. Do you know what I mean?
It's definitely better than Endgame, I'd say. Endgame, I'd say, is very overhyped.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, because I'd say the reason everyone likes Endgame is kind of similar to the reason everyone likes Up, and it's kind of the rest of the film is overshadowed by the ending. When you think of Endgame, you always think of that final fight, the one when you got like the three characters fighting Thanos. You got Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man fighting Thanos. Then Captain America picking up Mjolnir. Then that giant fight. That's the face.
That's the main
Endgame.
bit you see. Yeah, when you think about it.
Everyone forgets about the 2 hours and a half before that, when you're sitting there watching them go back in time, revisiting old films, which is kind of cool for like fans, but then and it's really good for the first viewing.
It was a fan servicey type of film, and I get that, but I don't know, and I want you to tell me, because I want to be proven wrong. Yeah. Where the hype in the film lies? Where did it come
Shang-Chi?
from? Yeah, I don't know.
I think
what was so absolutely incredible about it.
I think it's a mix between him being the first Asian superhero, in live action form, film form, but also the fact that he seems like such a real character kind of thing in this world, because obviously all like Captain America, he was sort of like, it's hard to explain, but it's kind of like he was kind of an outcast. He was kind of trying to pull away from this whole thing, and then he got dragged back into it. But then I don't know what the hype is to an extent, but it was a good origin story that it kind of opened everything. You kind of know his character, you know his family, you know about the Ten Rings, but then there's still mystery about them that we can learn more from. Yeah. That I think it's that, but I would say the main thing that got overhyped in the film is the after credit scene.
Right, yeah. I have to agree with that.
I would say definitely top 10 films in the MCU, Shang-Chi. Just
I can say I wouldn't say I wouldn't say any higher.
I wouldn't say top 5, top 3.
No, I couldn't say that either.
Maybe
personally.
I'd say maybe like close to top 5, but I'm not sure if it's that great.
I like, as I said, I thought like so many aspects of the film were good. I loved obviously the crossover with Abomination and Wong, even though that was quite short in the film. I thought it would be a bit longer.
It's definitely leading on to something though.
I like how
introduce it with
exactly,
nothing.
I like how things are sort of merging together, all the different films. It's quite cool.
The return of Trevor.
Oh my god!
It was so unexpected, but then I don't know how no one didn't put it together.
Have you watched? I can't remember what it's called. It's like
All Hail
the King on Disney Plus.
I want to watch it, but I haven't.
I watched it after I'd watched Shang-Chi because I forgot that it existed.
Yeah,
and it actually ties in perfectly.
Yeah, I heard it does.
And it's like, I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't. I will watch it.
It's really cool, and I thought going into the film without even seeing All Hail the King that if there's a film that Trevor Slattery is going to come back in, it's going to be this one. And I was not. It was so good.
I didn't expect him to return, but the thing is, as he's returned, is he going to become a bigger thing? Because I don't know if he's in the comics at all or anything, but because we know he's not dead.
Yeah.
Is he going to return again for a third time? And if so, what would be the reason? Like, is he going to become some sort of martial arts expert because he's now in Tylo or whatever the place is?
Maybe. So it'd be quite cool to see him and the like headless chicken or whatever. I can't remember the name of it. I should know, but
it's like Marvin or something.
Marvin.
It's something like that. I don't remember the name though.
It's cool. I just loved how they gave him more of a chance than in, I think it was Iron Man 3. Yeah. They gave him so much more screen time and more involvement in things.
As Trevor rather than the Mandarin. Because when we see him in Iron Man, he is the Mandarin apart from that that one 10-minute scene or whatever when he's Trevor and then he just sort of, I don't know what happens to him after that.
Well, that's explained in the Disney Plus short. It's cool. I really loved Trevor coming back and I thought it was needed because he provided so much comic relief in that film, and it just I was ready for it. It was
I think it is a really good film though. I want, as I said earlier, I want to talk about the after credits scene though.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing before?
Okay, yeah, go on then.
And it's the one thing that, if I had to say, really annoyed me about the film. Yeah. And it lies with, I can't remember his name now, but Shang-Chi's dad. Yeah. I should know his name. I don't remember his name
either.
But he's given
it's
all
the Mandarin though. Yeah, it's the Mandarin.
The real Mandarin. Yeah, he's given all in the final fight scene where he's releasing all of the, like, I can't remember, the eater, soul reaper bird looking things. Yeah. Whatever they're called. I don't know their name specifically. But when he's releasing all of them and they have their fight scene between dad and son, it's like, I don't know how to phrase it.
I think I kind of
the father just dies.
Yes, his redemption happens.
He puts up so much of a fight against Shang-Chi to the point where you're like, oh, I actually don't know whether he's going to win or not. And then out of nowhere, the big butterfly looking dragon monster comes out of nowhere, reaps his soul as if he was like a regular person. Like he put no fight in. I don't know whether that was part of his arc at all. I can't quite tell, but it just didn't sit right with me. He just up and died, and then Shang-Chi had the rings just suddenly.
I think it was meant to be his redemption, that he sort of sacrificed himself to save Shang-Chi, but it was very rushed, that you kind of don't reason with his redemption. Yeah. I would have rathered if it was more of like a sort of him passing. Actually, I don't know, because Shang-Chi kind of takes the rings. If it was sort of like him thinking, you're worthy, you need these, you can survive with them, and then he sacrificed himself, it would have been more meaningful. But he kind of just sort of like, they fight, he's kind of like, oh, my wife's not actually in there, gets taken up and dies. Then Shang-Chi's like, well, the rings are on the ground, let me just have them. And then he just fights with him. Like, I don't know.
I can kind of understand that maybe it's sort of like, he doesn't feel like, obviously his whole storyline is sort of like he's going after his wife, but the wife's obviously not there. Yeah. Sort of like a trauma, sort of. Trauma, is trauma the right word? I think so.
Yeah, like, kind of, yeah, like, fear of loss.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And once he realizes that she's not actually there, he sees no purpose to continue.
Yeah.
That's the only way that I can see that scene being explained, in my opinion. But
I think, yeah, his death was needed for that reason, because at the end you see, like, when they put off the, what are they called, like lantern things in the water, they say something about the mum and the dad being together again.
yeah.
So it's kind of needed that he would die. I just, like what you said, I don't think they did it in the best way. If
No,
they
yeah.
could have done it, I think it was needed as a sacrifice to kind of redeem him. But yeah, as you said,
I'll tell you what did stand out in the film though.
go on then.
Cinematography, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah, I agree.
It was
100%.
It was the camera angles that they used and like the shot types was so cool. I loved it.
Yeah,
And like the moving shots as well. So good.
yeah. I can't really point out singular shots.
No.
But I understand what you mean. It was very different.
It was I don't know, it's just something I've noticed. Maybe it's just our inner film critic
Yeah.
going out here, but
Like film studies, we have to. We kind of
we
like
do.
have to
We're
pick up the meaning.
programmed to looking at these things now. And it does sort of annoy me every now and again, but it's kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go on to the after credit scene now.
Yes.
It was very overhyped.
It was.
I understand it, but everyone was like, "This is the revolutionary after credit scene." It was just Bruce Banner.
What was revolutionary about it?
Bruce Banner not being Professor Hulk.
Yeah, was that
That
it,
was
though?
it. And the fact that Captain Marvel has something so big that she needs to leave the meeting to go and do.
Yeah.
That was it. Or, I guess, and the fact that the rings are calling for you, but that's sort of not really anything. That's kind of irrelevant. Like,
yeah.
them being like living beings like a rings, the sort of, it doesn't really matter. Like,
Well-
we'll probably learn about it, and there'll probably be something to do with the Eternals or something. I don't know, but I don't know.
I can presume that the whole Captain Marvel not running away, like going off
Yeah.
the like holographic comms thing was, I presume whatever happens in that will be explained in
Miss Marvel.
Is it Miss Marvel?
I think so.
No, it's the Marvels.
Oh yeah, the Marvels.
It'll be
when we get Miss
It'll
Marvel.
be. I presume it'll be talked about in
Yeah.
that, and then I don't know what's quite happening with the Hulk, and why he's
We'll
gone
find
back
that out
to.
in She-Hulk. I think I heard something about the way that She-Hulk becomes She-Hulk is that something happens to her and she
Right.
needs like blood, so the whole so Bruce Banner's like, I'll give you some of my blood.
Yeah.
So maybe him being Professor Hulk, him taking his blood was like turned him back into Bruce or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't really know.
I have a feeling, because obviously you've got the Hulk only barring the start of Infinity War, he didn't appear in the film. Because Bruce kept trying, but obviously he wouldn't come out, and that's why he was in Hulkbuster.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Endgame, instead, it was Professor Hulk, obviously, and apparently, is what I've heard, that it obviously didn't sit hugely well with the fans.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. I liked how they sort of merged them together.
Yeah.
But
I'd say he needed to be stronger though. He was kind of like he was more Bruce than Hulk.
He sort of just appeared as Professor Hulk as well.
Yeah.
There was, I think there was planned to be
He was meant to be in the end of Infinity War.
there was meant to be like a build-up scene, so we wouldn't just be surprised at the pancake parlor or whatever it was, where he just dabs. But
Hulk out.
exactly, like it was cool. But then obviously the real Hulk was then missing from the final big Endgame fight, which would have made it look so much cooler, just having Hulk rampaging through, like tossing bodies around.
Yeah.
I think that would have been so much cooler. I guess he did do that a bit, but I just didn't feel like I felt like I didn't hit the same.
But would it, if, let's say he would, because whatever would have happened, he probably wouldn't have been able to do that, because he had the Infinity Gauntlet on, didn't he? Or the Nano Gauntlet. He was the first person to snap to bring everyone back.
Yeah.
So, does that mean if he was, would he have still done that if he was full Hulk? Because he would have been like this reckless kind of thing. But then the Hulk still, because the Hulk had more control over his own life at that point. because obviously we see in Ragnarok where the Hulk's sort of like this chilled out bloke. He just sort of relaxing in the hot tub, chilling.
I would have liked to think that the real Hulk would have still done it because of the sacrifice of Black Widow. Because she died, and there was always that tension beforehand with their will they, won't they sort of relationship going on.
Yeah.
That I feel like that would have been enough to convince Hulk to actually not be smashing and actually just do it.
And it would have also... They could have given that be the reason why there is a full Hulk rather than Professor Hulk because obviously the thing that drives Hulk to be Hulk, or Bruce to be Hulk, is anger. So, and we see that when, what's his name? When Clint comes back and says Natasha's dead, then they have all that big scene on the pier.
Yeah.
And he throws the chair because he's in the state of anger at that point. If they could have just heightened it, they made it so the Hulk takes control and sort of like you see him become more green and sort of like bashing out kind of thing. And that would be how they change him from Professor Hulk to the Hulk. And then maybe he's like stuck in that, and then maybe he's a little bit more reckless throughout. I can't remember if he actually does anything this Professor Hulk is needed at that point. He kind of does, because he helps put the nano gauntlet together.
Yeah, he does.
We have Rocket and Iron Man at that point.
Who were doing their best.
I think they can really do it on their own. They don't really need...
I don't know. We'll have to see. I presume the Hulk will make an appearance in She-Hulk whenever that is released. Well, if he turns I don't know whether he appears
Bruce.
in anything else later on down the line, but we'll find out.
What happened to him at the end? He had... At the end of Endgame, what was he doing?
Bringing Cat back. But he tried, but it didn't work, and that's the last thing we saw of him. Next thing we see is post-credit scene of Shang-Chi, and he's like, "Welcome to the circus."
Yeah, that also might be the next time we see Abomination as well. Maybe because Abomination.
I think he's slated to be in She-Hulk, Abomination. So
yeah, because they're both
something
linked
to look forward
characters.
to.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then obviously there was two end credit scenes. There was
what even happened in the second one? I completely forgot.
Zhongling? Or something like that.
Oh yeah, when she's sitting on the throne.
She's sat in the throne, and then she's sort of taking over. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I presume that's going to somewhat come back in a sequel of some sort for Shang-Chi.
I don't know what would happen though. Maybe that's I don't know.
Shang-Chi in the continuation of the 10 Rings. I don't know.
But yeah, there's got to be some reason why we see her making her like arena thing in the Asian temple. Yeah. I don't remember what it was called. Because I don't know, but I don't know what the reason would be though. Because we're just seeing her creating her sort of tournament again, but with no really reason.
I can only presume that would be explained in a later film of some sort, so
yeah. The whole point in the first film was just to show, or when we first see it, was just to show her independence from her father, that she can be a leader. Yeah. It doesn't... Her creating it in that doesn't really explain anything at the minute, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Personally, my expectations were exceeded. Right. Only because I feel like Marvel should have promoted the film a lot more. I had high expectations, but they weren't as high as like something like No Way Home are. Because there's no promotion.
It was promoted towards the end, but I don't feel like that was enough. It was just sort of 1 minute trailers, if that.
It was just like, we kind of haven't done anything. Maybe we should
put something out. Yeah.
Just so people actually watch our film.
That's fair enough.
But that's all I'd really
On the whole,
say.
Though, I think it was solid. It was a solid entry into the MCU.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, we've got episode 4 and 5 of What If.
Yeah,
since the last time we did the podcast.
So did we talk in the first one? We did talk about 1, 2, and 3, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to start with episode 4 because that was later on. And this was the one where it was what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands.
Honestly, probably one of my favourites.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd say this is like the middle at the minute
because it was so different.
Yeah.
It was a different take on something. It doesn't think these sort of. I think that what they were trying to do is things don't always end positively. Yeah.
I like how they've kind of done it though. I like how they've done it because the first episode was just like sort of kind of nice. Oh, we've got a different Captain America, and then the second one was sort of, oh, we've got a different Star-Lord, and he's actually a cool Star-Lord.
And a good Thanos.
Yeah, and a good Thanos. And then the third one was just like, all of the Avengers are dead.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, it got worse. Oh, now we've got Doctor Strange, he just destroys the whole universe.
Yeah.
And then it
Down
gets
to
worse. We got zombies everywhere.
And
I think that's their point. I think they're getting it more gory and
it's
more
getting worse.
awful.
Yeah,
So I think that's their plan, is that it's just going to keep progressing up until it's sort of like in the last episode, everyone's just getting like their heads chopped off and like stuff like that.
Pretty graphic. But one question I posed to you then: what's going on with the Watcher? What's happening?
Because
episode 4, he's talking to Doctor Strange in the universe, and there's a whole conversation right at the end where Doctor Strange turns to him and says, "What?
You can undo it.
Can you help me, please? I'll do anything."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No."
I think
what's going on?
This is sort of his beginning. It's his sort of entry story into influence in the MCU, because in the comics, I haven't really. I always refer to comics, but I haven't really read any of them. But what I've heard from in the comics, that Watu the Watcher, he influences everything.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that they chose him as the Watcher rather than like a different Watcher, that he's definitely going to influence more. You could argue that he only influenced because, or he didn't really influence, he spoke, he engaged with the universe. You could argue he only did that because he knew the universe was just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
But we know that Doctor Strange's going to return because he speaks to Captain Carter. So, like, what's going to happen?
I don't know.
I think over time we're going to see him progressively engage more.
Yeah.
You could argue in the zombie episode he engaged, because there's this one shot, I don't know if you remember, but I remember seeing this one shot where you can kind of see over the universe, or over the sort of like the city, and you see him and he's physically talking.
Yeah.
And you see his mouth moving. So that means he's kind of like speaking. It's not like you just see him watching, he's actually talking, so
he's involved. Yeah. It's really interesting to see. I like what they're doing with it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. Because the last time we saw the Watchers was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which someone reminded me in the comments.
They just sort of flew past,
yeah,
didn't they?
And they were just sort of there. And they didn't even, like, Stanley was speaking to them, but they didn't listen. They were listening, but they didn't engage. They didn't say anything back.
Because they wouldn't.
No.
One thing that I noticed, that a few people have pointed out as well, is the increasing amount of tentacles being used across the What If series. In the first Captain Carter episode, there's the whole tentacle monster coming out of the portal.
Yeah.
And then in the episode 4, Doctor Strange is, I presume it's the same tentacle monster, fighting, or like, I don't know, absorbing it, sort of like the Souls did in Shang-Chi. Yeah. And in Shang-Chi, there's some sort of, the flying creature has tentacles all over it, like sucking. Why tentacles? What are tentacles?
You could also argue that in the future, when we get, what's it called? What the hell is it called? No Way Home.
Yeah.
How did I forget that? When we get No Way Home, Doc Ock, he's got tentacles.
What is with the tentacles?
It's got to be moving to something.
It's too much of a coincidence.
I know.
Across 4 episodes, they use tentacles as like one of the main power threats twice.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Maybe we're going to... It's like... So what is that tentacle monster?
I don't know whether it has a name.
It wasn't named, was it?
Not
it's
yet.
It's like the Hydra monster.
It's something like that, yeah. I just don't know why.
Maybe it's going to actually make a live action...
Maybe.
Because
they might be hitting towards that.
Yeah, because there's no... Because that's the only reason I can think of why they would be introducing this character to us and then repeatedly showing it to us.
Yeah.
And we know it's a threat, because that's the thing. Because Doctor Strange was like, when he started to absorb his power, that was the first thing he fought.
Yeah.
So we kind of were shown it as a threat, and then it was sort of like defeated him. So then we see it again when he's fully powered. So maybe it's not that much of a threat, but like... We don't know what it is yet. We just see it tentacles.
I think it's really interesting that they've just got so many tentacles and octopuses and things that I don't even know what has tentacles.
Yeah.
but they're there and they're being involved.
Maybe
and
we're gonna get like a Kraken or something.
Maybe
That'd be cool.
that would be pretty cool. I'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
Episode 5 then.
Oh,
Zombies.
This was a good episode.
This was a good episode. And you know what I liked most about this episode?
Go on.
Is the fact that they took... Well, I think they did it before in one of the episodes, I can't quite remember. But they took more underappreciated characters like Bucky and like Hope Van Dyne, the Wasp.
Yeah.
And they made them the main characters. And I was all for that.
Yes, it kind of grows these characters.
Yeah,
it kind of makes
nice.
you like
it
them.
was a nice change of pace, in my opinion.
And even Kurt.
I loved that. They didn't have to use Kurt from Ant-Man.
It was such like a random one, but I think they used him because of the Baba
Yaga.
That's the one. Because
that.
he even that's his sort of.
It's
he
like
says
his,
it in Ant-Man, doesn't he?
Conspiracy theory or whatever. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Like, it's just they didn't have to use him, but they just like, you know who we're gonna. They sat down in a boardroom meeting and said, you know who we're gonna use for What If Episode 5 Zombies? We're gonna use Kurt.
And people are like, who the hell is Kurt?
Exactly.
You know, the guy from what's it called? Ant-Man. You know that film?
Tech support guy.
Yeah.
Is it XCOM? I think it's XCOM.
Yeah, XCOM. Yeah. We have to use him. He's Polka Dot Man now. Everyone knows who he is.
Exactly. It's so cool. I don't know. I just thought it was really unique how they used those characters.
The thing is, though, the fact that they're reintroducing these characters that are kind of smaller to the audience, it kind of shows that they probably will make a return.
Exactly.
Like, even if it's not these characters in What If, and it's the ones that we have already, because you know sort of what they can do.
Yeah.
They will probably get introduced again. We'll see what they
I hope so.
actually can do.
I think Hope Van Dyne's arc in that episode was really quite cool. How she went from one of the lead figures. The same with Sharon Carter, actually. I didn't expect them to use her. That was a surprise for me, but it was cool.
Also, Bucky not really caring about Sam's death.
No, or Cap's.
He kind of cared a bit more about Cap's. He said, but it was like a whole point that he said, I should be sad, but I'm not. Because we saw, literally just before it, them coming together as friends.
Yeah.
And if it was to happen after the events of Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, he probably would have been sad because they kind of come together as like a duo, as I can presume, in the future.
Uh-huh.
But because none of that happened, they're just sort of like Cap's friends and not each other's friends. Well, they don't care about each other.
No, yeah. It's just... as you said, it's getting progressively more gruesome.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Same. I want to see more of it in the MCU, but I want to see that spider episode.
The
Spider-Man becoming a spider. There's nothing we can really say about it because we don't really know much about it.
No.
It's cancelled, but I would love to see that.
Who knows what could happen.
You never know.
But... moving on to a new segment.
Oh,
here we go.
Okay, so what we were going to replace not every episode, but
we're just going to do it for this specific one. Whilst,
maybe in the future
whilst What If is still around and quite prominent.
Yeah.
We've come up with a few of our own What If, like, questions, really.
Yeah.
Like
what we would want to see in the episode. Have you, with the one that you thought of, have you kind of adapted it how it would change the MCU or the universe?
I feel like we could probably talk about it a little bit. I've got like an idea behind each one, but not really too much.
Same.
So one of mine's a bit broad, but it's quite cool.
I'll let you say yours first.
Okay. The first one that I put down is what if the rat didn't save Ant-Man in Endgame? It's quite specific.
Yeah. Well,
but it's a valid point.
I guess they would just sort of go on with their normal lives.
I don't know. It's the scene where like Ant-Man's in the quantum realm currently, and there's that one random rat, which I don't even know why they did that. It still doesn't really make too much sense to me. But the rat came and stood on the button, and then Ant-Man flew out the back of the van, and he was like, I don't know where I am. That sort of thing. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, who would there be alive, or unsnapped, who would know about the van? Because Hope's gone.
Yeah.
Hank's gone.
Yeah.
Hank's wife's gone.
We can only presume all of his friends are gone, like Louise and Kurt. Love Kurt.
Let's say, but we didn't see him, so there was no reason. I guess Ant-Man might have went and saw him, I don't know. But we didn't see them, And there was no mention that they have been snapped. So if they were there, they could have probably gone to the van and been like, oh, well, let's just press this button and then he comes back.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what my theory would be for this episode.
What would happen?
Ant-Man's obviously in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Do you remember in Ant-Man and the Wasp, there's that brief moment where you can see that city in the background? Ant-Man would find that city.
Okay.
He'd walk over to that city. Who'd be there? Kang. Kang would be in that city. And he would be like, all of your friends on Earth have been snapped away by Thanos.
Yeah.
The only way you can save them is to come with me and do... I don't know what he'd do, but they'd not team up, but Ant-Man would have no choice but to go with Kang in order to save everybody back on Earth from within the quantum realm.
Okay.
I think it would be quite cool.
Yeah, well, because there's... Obviously, it's a different variant, but... Because there's a variant of Kang, which is the Timekeeper, maybe he would Kang could be like, well, I know a guy who might be able to change time and just get him back. So, go and meet Kang. Kang takes him to Kang.
Kang to Kang.
Kang changes stuff.
Kangception.
They just meet each other, shake hands.
I don't know. I just feel like it could be quite a cool thing. But we're going to see that in Ant-Man Quantumania anyway,
of course.
Because they're both in that, so
yeah,
would be pretty cool.
You got other ideas?
Give me one of yours.
All right.
Give me one of yours.
So I thought of two.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But which one should I start with? All right, I'll start with one which I think would be kind of interesting. What if Hydra won World War II?
Oh.
Because, so, it would... I have one of two ideas. Either Captain America would become... like Hydra America or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Captain Hydra or something. So then he'd have like this Hydra shield and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But because he's like an American soldier, he wouldn't agree with their values. So then Nick Fury would then, instead of creating the Avengers, he'd create like this group of rebels.
Yeah.
And they'd rebel against Hydra.
Ooh.
So then there'd be like Captain America would be Captain America, but hidden as like a spy as Hydra America.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Captain Hydra.
That's really cool.
And like maybe because Iron Man might, because his dad was like a American leader or whatever.
Yeah.
He would probably then also join the rebellion.
Uh-huh.
But then someone like I don't know, people who weren't born into it, like I don't know, who else is there really? Like maybe Black Widow would be Hydra's team, so then we'd have to like fight them. So like there'd be a different Avengers team, but there'd be like rebels.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of like rebels against Hydra. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be really interesting to see.
I thought it'd be a cool idea.
It would. It really would be. I like Hydra anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And just seeing how like the world would be different if Hydra won, because obviously it would be a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like everything Hydra stamped, and I don't even know what Hydra's morals were, but can't be good.
To kill.
Yeah, pretty much.
Take control. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was cool. Have you got any others?
I do. But
Yeah.
have you got others?
I've got one, but it's really vague, and
Alright.
I don't.
I'll
like
let
it
you go
anymore.
for yours
I don't. No, I
first.
don't like it anymore.
You don't. I still want to hear it.
I
though.
literally wrote down what if Iron Man was evil instead of good.
It'd be kind of cool actually, though. Like
The main,
maybe
the
how
face of Marvel.
yeah,
He's actually evil instead of good.
or maybe how it could be is he started working for like the 10 Rings.
Undercover, yeah.
Yeah, like so he
From within the cave.
instead of escaping, he started working with them, and then kind of like did make weapons for them, but also made like Iron Man suits and like.
Yeah.
I see that as a cool idea.
I didn't really know about it. It was sort of like
Yeah.
a meh one.
To be honest, my second idea is not really that.
Go on.
as
What
big.
is it?
So obviously Nick Fury made the Avengers. He was like the leader. So what if Captain Marvel was like the head Avenger?
Ooh.
So it'd be like, so obviously
What,
we'd,
because of their history together?
yeah, because they know each other. So instead of Captain Marvel going off world and whatever,
Yeah.
he should be like working with him. So she'd obviously be like this cocky character, and everyone on the Avengers would like kind of not hate her, but
Yeah.
maybe Civil War would be a bit different. It'd be against her instead of
Maybe.
like, if you know what I mean, like because she's like a Tony Stark, but she feels she has more power.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's hard to explain what I mean, but I'd like to see how different the Avengers would be if Captain Marvel was in charge. Maybe certain people wouldn't get chosen to be on the Avengers because she's got so much control. Maybe she'd be like, well, you know what, we'll just get like someone else in because I know someone who's like 10 times more powerful, like Tony Stark in the future kind of thing. Like, so we might get even like a different team, and like how it would be all
it would
chosen
be insane
stuff.
to see that though.
I don't know. I had the idea, but I didn't. Really
It's a good
develop
idea.
it much.
It's a good idea. Same with me and my Iron Man though. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't develop that too much. I've developed the Ant-Man one more, but
Yeah, I developed my Hydra one more because I thought that'd be a really cool idea.
but that's what we would like to see from What If.
Yeah,
It's not gonna happen.
If they ever think doing season 2.
If you want a season 2 and you want our ideas, Marvel, come on.
Yeah,
Hit us up. Come on, we're here.
because we know,
3
we know
ideas.
you're watching.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, don't even need credit.
No.
Maybe a couple quid.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on from Marvel-related things.
All right.
We're taking a bit of a different turn.
I forgot what was coming next, and then I realised when you said moving away,
Yeah,
I was like, oh, great.
we're going to Cinderella.
Yeah.
The new release for 2021.
Is it Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime movie, starring Camila Cabello as Cinderella herself.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't, no.
Do you want to watch the trailer?
Yeah, well, why not? Oh, it's a musical. Of course it's a bloody musical, innit? I like the idea that she's kind of like this strong woman who can do it for herself and she doesn't need it, but... What a loser! The hell? What was the point in that?
Just threw like ink or something over her.
They made James Corden a rat.
James Corden.
That's the best bit. James Corden is a rat.
So he's been a cat and a rat.
Well,
Cinderella. What did you think?
it doesn't really
Hang on.
tickle my fancy, shall we say. It's not the sort of film I can imagine myself really watching.
Of course not. No, that's fair enough if it's not your taste.
Yeah, I can tell the only really real reason they picked Camila Cabello for the main role is because she's a singer.
Yeah.
Like, she's not an actor. I don't think she's probably fit for the role.
Maybe. Well, I'll tell you this.
See the
IMDb has rated it 4.2 out of 10.
It's just
And Rotten Tomatoes, the most reliable of sources, has rated
40
it 45% of 100%.
45%.
And we're going over the cast. Camila Cabello as Cabello? I don't know.
I
As
thought I said
Cinderella.
Nick Jonas then.
We've got Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Robert. We've got Billy Porter as Far, who I presume is the fairy godmother.
Yeah.
Idna Menzel, I think she's a singer. James Corden.
The rat.
The rat. It's got some other actors in there. Pierce Bronson as well. I think it will. I despite everyone's expectations, I actually think it will be good.
You think it'd be good?
I think it will be good. I do. I think it will be much more worthy of a higher IMDb rating than 4.5. I really do. I mean, obviously, it's the same story we know. Cinderella, glass shoe and all that. It's something that I feel like if they do it right, it'll be good. Like properly. Like,
but will
actually,
they do it right? That's the thing.
That's the difficult thing. I mean, if you think about what happened with Cats and how James Corden... I'm basing this on James Corden right now. James Corden in Cats, no one really... I never watched Cats. I couldn't bring myself to do it because of how poor it was, apparently. But I want to be positive and hopeful that this film will actually be really good because it has some really good ideas behind it. I feel like it's taken the story we know of Cinderella and it's not flipped it, but taken it in a slightly new angle.
It's
in the
kind
fact
of got
that
a modern twist.
She doesn't quite, as she said in the trailer, Cinderella doesn't want to be locked away in a royal box.
Yeah.
Similar to how she doesn't want to be in the basement doing all the clothes for the ugly stuff. I don't know how exactly plays out, but that sort of thing. She doesn't want particularly either of those to be their full. Yeah, she doesn't want that feeling of like entrapment.
Yeah.
And also, what I really like about it is the diversity in the film.
Yeah.
I really do like how they've got what's his name? I can't remember. Billy Porter. To play the fairy godmother. I like that.
It's got
it's a nice different angle, and I feel like that's needed on a story that's been so used over and over and over again in so many different situations. I feel like it's a really good outlook, and
I see that.
I can only hope that it'll be promising, because I don't know, I just feel like I feel like it has definitely got the potential. All the things are laid out, it just needs to click, and I really hope that it does when I eventually get to watch it, because I actually kind of want to, not gonna lie.
Maybe I'll watch a TikTok on it, but I see the modern twist, because it's sort of like this still medieval kind of, not medieval, but you know what I mean?
It keeps its root themes.
Yeah, it's got that
film,
like setting and clothing and all that, but it's kind of like with casting and who's playing what, man playing the fairy godmother.
Exactly.
It's like the fact that it's got this really modern twist on it, and like her, I guess, as you said, not wanting to be in this royal box. She doesn't want to be stuck in the basement, but she also doesn't want to be stuck in this role where she just sort of has to be like, I guess,
the princess.
Yeah, the princess. She wants
her own independence.
Yeah, she wants to be herself.
And it's quite refreshing to see. And I hope that it's good enough that people actually enjoy it and sort of respect it in a way.
Yeah.
That but yeah, I just feel like James Corden isn't a great sign, but who knows? No. We might be impressed. I hope I am impressed, because I think it really has got the groundwork to lay on and be a good film.
Yeah. Hopefully as well, Camila Cabello's acting isn't like Addison Rae's in her film.
That's what I'm hoping. I have a feeling that I have a feeling she's going to be better than Addison Rae. Well, but I hope that it's better than people expect. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's just because she's not an actor. There's sort of the difficulties, but if she does it well, I guess there's not an issue there. But I don't know. I guess maybe music videos might help with her acting or something.
Maybe.
I don't really know.
But if you want to watch it, it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it just to make a TikTok on it or whatever, my personal account.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. There's not really much else we can say because we only watched the trailer.
Exactly. Yeah. There's not a whole lot we can pull from, but it looks all right. So
I wouldn't say it's definitely not as bad as something like Cats.
Yeah,
because
of course. Yeah.
It gives me sort of a similar vibe to that film.
Yeah.
With how it's sort of like this musical, and the choice of actors is kind of like a couple, these like sort of the main sort of like James Corden sort of group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, people I could imagine on the James Corden show, kind of people like that. But I don't know. I wouldn't say it looks awful, but it's also not something that I would choose to watch in like the cinema or whatever.
No, of course not. Well, we'll have to wait and see. It's out now, so yeah. Pretty good. The final thing on the list here is the Rick and Morty season 5 finale.
Yeah. So have you seen the trailer for it or anything?
No, because I don't.
Anything?
I don't watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I don't watch it.
And you picked to talk about this.
to talk about it because I know you've watched it, and I know it's a big deal at the moment, and I want people to know your opinion personally.
Okay,
I'll try and pitch in every now and again, but
get me the wrong opinion. Like I put out the wrong opinion. Everyone just hates my opinion.
I'll try and add whatever I can in every now and again. But
I heard you said you got some questions before we started about it. I'll see.
Well,
what are your questions?
First of all, what did you think overall of the finale and the series? I guess in overview.
So. I'll explain what happens first, because you said you haven't watched it or anything. So, the ends finale episode is basically it starts off Morty kind of like fixing everything that Rick does wrong, and then he finds out that Morty's used his teleporter thing.
Yeah.
So he says, "Oh, I'm going to replace you." He replaces him with two crows.
Right.
Who he later finds out are like really smart, like crows are like really smart.
Yeah.
But he was just like using them as like a gag, and like, oh, I'm only replacing Morty with these. So Morty goes off, and when he was replacing to fill up the serum, he got some on his hand, and it made like a portal on his hand.
Right.
It was really random, but then this portal was connected to someone else's portal, which was on their thigh.
Okay.
So that then they could like connect to each other. So if he'd put his hand in, it'd like come out of the other guy's thigh.
Okay.
It's really weird.
Yeah. It sounds weird.
Yeah, but then them two became friends. But that guy was like a psychopath or something.
Of course.
So Morty like cut off his hand so that the guy couldn't get him. That's basically the quickest way to explain it.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Because he found out it's a psychopath.
All right.
And so he cut off his hand so that with using a train.
Yeah.
So he put his hand onto the train wheel and cut his hand off. And then while that happened, Rick got attacked by some giant crows who were like, yo, you got to treat these crows better.
Okay.
And then because they were like these giant crows, they used this giant egg to like turn normal crows into this giant crow. It sounds so random.
It really does.
So if these little crows touch the giant egg, they turn into giant crows. So they did it, and Rick was like, "Oh, you betrayed me." And then he got knocked over, and he had these string things hanging out of his wrists. So they grabbed the string and like wrapped it around the other crows and like pulled it, and they killed the crows.
Okay.
And it turned the big crows into little crows, and Rick was like, "Oh, you're loyal to me." And then he kind of ditched Morty and went off on these crow adventures, and that's what the next episode was. Until he was like, actually, you know what? I don't care about crows anymore. And then they did a Cinderella of Rick's episode. That's basically it. I kind of explained it longer than I needed to.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Personally, it was enjoyable. The Cinderella of Rick bit was a bit rushed.
Okay.
But it wasn't like a bad episode. They kind of introduced Evil Morty again and stuff.
Yeah.
Which are kind of... if you haven't watched it, you might not understand.
No, it's fair enough, but yeah. So another question I put down is I did do a little bit of research in the fact that I found out that a season 6 is coming.
Yeah, and a season 7.
And a season 7. Okay, I didn't know that, but what do you think will happen for season 6? Where do you think it will go?
Well, the episode ended with Evil Morty blasting off into another reality.
Right.
And then I don't really remember what happened to Rick and Morty, but I guess it will just pick up where it ended. Maybe we'll follow Evil Morty a bit more.
Yeah.
They also brought back Bird Person, which if you haven't seen it, it sounds so random. So he'll probably be in it as well.
Right.
They didn't explore Clone Beth at all this season, so maybe her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't truly know what will happen, but I'm guessing it'll probably pick up similar to where we dropped off.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough.
In that sort of sense.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I only had 2 questions down, so that's
great.
that. Is there anything else that you want to highlight about the series itself? Like season 6? Season 5, sorry.
Season 5. No, not really.
No.
I like... The main things I like about sort of the episodes are the stupid ones.
Yeah.
So like there was one where Rick and Morty turned themselves into turkeys to get the pardon from the president or something.
Yeah.
And then the president was like, I'm not that stupid, so he turned himself into a turkey. And then he also turned some of his military soldiers into turkeys, and there was these turkeys like holding guns.
Right.
And then when they had to turn them back into humans, the people accidentally picked up a real turkey rather than the president turkey. So they turned a turkey into the president.
Yeah.
And there was this turkey president hybrid, and no one noticed that it wasn't actually the real president.
Amazing.
And then he created these buff turkeys, and it was really weird. And there was like this spider president hybrid thing that like killed the turkeys. I don't even know what happened. It was so confusing.
It sounds
but it's
very
like,
hectic.
Yeah, just stupid that it's kind of enjoyable.
Okay, well, I have got something else written down.
All right.
And I don't know how it's gonna go. So this is a little side challenge, let's say, for you. Okay?
Oh God.
Right now.
What to do now or
To do right now.
All right. Yeah.
Your goal is to try and convince me why I should start watching Rick and Morty.
Oh my God.
I don't watch Rick and Morty. Obviously, there's only so much I can know.
Yeah.
Do your best. Why should I care about what's going on in Rick and Morty, and why should I watch the series so far and then to season 6 and season 7 when they come out?
In advance
Why should I get into it?
And in advance notice of this would have been really helpful,
Yep,
so that I
sorry.
could think about it. But that's even better. Puts me
On the spot.
So, all right. Give me a think.
Okay.
So, you're thinking, I need something to watch on TV.
Right.
So you just like, let's go on IMDb.
On
Have a look.
IMDb, okay.
Yeah, so you want to watch something good, yeah?
Okay, yeah. I go to IMDb.
Yeah, Rick and Morty comes
I'm
out.
browsing through. I see All the other TV shows that I could be watching.
And you see Rick and Morty.
I see Rick and Morty, okay.
You got 9.1 IMDb rating.
Right, okay.
No jokes.
Right.
Might be higher, actually. But I think 9.1.
Yeah.
Pretty good IMDb rating,
right.
Yeah? And then, you're like, maybe we'll check out the first episode.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. Probably kind of crap, because it's like, it's the pilot episode, you know?
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
What do you expect from the pilot episode? Just sort of like, oh, we need to kind of convince that this is a good show. So it's kind of got like the main introduction of Rick and Morty, very improvised, sort of like a lot of dirty burping, sort of carelessness.
Mm-hmm.
The animation's not perfect, you know what I mean? Like,
I get that, yeah. That's fair enough.
You know,
same with any pilot, yeah.
You still give it a chance. So, a couple episodes down, you get the best episode. It includes a lot of like sci-fi-ness. You don't really understand what's going on, yeah?
Okay.
Because, so you're in a simulation, and the simulation sort of breaks. At first you don't understand that you're actually in a simulation, but then the simulation breaks, comes out of the simulation, but then it turns out you're still in the simulation. Yeah? And then the simulation breaks.
No.
And
how does that work?
I don't really know.
It's so
confusing.
You're in a simulation. You're not in a simulation, but you're in a simulation.
It's called the Rickshank Redemption. So basically,
brilliant.
No, Shawshank Redemption, something like that.
Yeah, a play on words from Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. But I don't really understand. I thought when I watched Shawshank Redemption, I'd understand it. Still don't really understand it.
Okay.
Oh, this is so difficult. All right, so maybe how I sort of started was a bad thing. Let me kind of explain what you expect. So you got like this comedy, stupid comedy with like fart jokes.
Yeah.
But then also like fart jokes.
More fart jokes.
Just stuff like that. Like
right.
Fart jokes, improvisation, just sort of like kind of like they just do it. Things aren't like clear, there's just sort of stuff happening.
Yeah.
But then you also get like these kind of cool episodes like Treehouse of Horror sort of stuff from Simpsons.
Yeah, okay.
But instead of it being like horror episodes, it's just sort of like these quick gags where it's just sort of stuff happening called like interdimensional cable.
Okay.
Where, because interdimensional, anything can really happen. So they've got like these stupid like gags that like ball fondlers, but it's like an action show.
Right.
It sounds really stupid. And it is stupid. But it's sort of like this, like that's the whole point in the episode. It's just sort of stupid gags, just one after the other.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Kind of like Treehouse of Horror, where they've kind of got like 4 mini episodes, horror related in one.
In one big, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
so
enough.
It's kind of like that, but then it's kind of like got this sci-fi aspect onto it, where some things can get confusing when you don't truly understand, but like it's also not too detailed where you can easily understand things.
Yeah.
Everything's easily explained, and it's not like stuff happens and you just like, what the hell just happened? You kind of like, stuff happens, you're like, what happened? And then it gets explained. You're like, oh, well, that's what happened. And I don't really know where else to go from that. Like, I thought about bringing in like the Simpsons sort of thing, relations to that.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's kind of like, none of the episodes really link up, but there is this overarching storyline over the whole thing.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like, stuff happens after the episode, kind of, the characters all forget about it. But then every now and then there might be like an episode where it follows up from something we've previously seen.
Related back to something.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think that's the best way I could explain it.
You've done a good job. Like, it's encouraged me to at least watch a few episodes.
I started off a bit rough.
You did well, especially on the spot. I mean, I really put you on the stage there. I mean,
I could give you some recommendations of episodes to watch.
Go on.
But
what's one? The main one you'd recommend?
One I would definitely not recommend is
not
Pickle
recommend.
Rick. Don't start with Pickle Rick.
Okay.
Because it's the most overhyped episode ever.
Okay.
Everyone's sort of like, oh, Pickle Rick. Like,
yeah.
And when you think of Rick and Morty, that's the first thing you think of because it is the most recognizable thing.
That's fair enough.
I would say that's like season 3, episode 3 or 4. Season 3, episode 1.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to understand it, you kind of need to watch the episodes before.
Right.
So I wouldn't 100% say that's the first one to watch, but I would probably say something like the Rick Shamp redemption.
Yeah.
Which is a good one because it shows like the sci-fi-ness, but then there's also kind of stupid. And that's probably one of the best episodes.
All right.
So I'd say that's the best way I could explain.
All right. Well done. You did a very good job. I mean, I'm encouraged to watch some.
Maybe
and I think I'll give it.
Maybe
a go.
you should between episodes.
I'll give it a
see
go.
See what your thoughts are. See if I did a good job.
All right. I will definitely. But yeah.
All right.
Season 6 sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. In your opinion.
Yeah. I don't really know anything about season 6, but
the idea of it.
Yeah.
Coming. At least they're not ending on season 5.
Well, good.
All right. That pretty much covers everything.
Is that everything?
I think so.
Nice.
All right.
Maybe. Is there any things to expect for next episode? Like
I don't know much coming
about?
out for the rest of September. I don't know whether the James Bond film comes out towards the end of September.
Maybe
No Time to Die.
We'd probably do an episode before that though, wouldn't we?
If there's enough to talk about.
Yeah.
Venom got moved forward a week to October 1st.
That's October.
And in terms of series, I think the only thing I can think of is Sex Education Season 3.
Well, maybe we could talk about that a little bit.
That's the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah.
Well, we
could talk
We'll
about...
probably talk about it in the next one.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah.
In the next episode, we might talk about probably the upcoming PlayStation games coming.
Yes, definitely.
And,
that's a good one to highlight, yeah.
There was something else I had in my mind, but I really can't think of it. I'm so dumb. Oh, finally, maybe at last we might talk about Candyman.
Maybe.
Because
Should we?
I think so, because just because it's a horror, it'd be kind of funny to watch it. But
I don't know.
We did think about doing it in the first episode, and then again this episode, we still haven't gotten around to it.
No.
So maybe 3's the magic number, and we get around to it next episode.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll try and fit it in.
Yeah. Well, you get overview in the beginning of the next episode, and even on the title. So.
Exactly. Well.
Yeah.
That's it for the second podcast.
Yeah.
The second CineChatters podcast.
Of course.
It's been fun. I enjoyed talking.
Yeah.
Very good. I don't know how to end this. I'm still a learning process.
Well, hopefully you like sort of our overview of maybe some brief ideas we might talk about in the next episode. So hopefully
definitely.
you want to tune back into that.
And I think that's pretty much it. So
yeah, there's nothing else we really have to cover.
Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you're on
Spotify.
We should have iTunes, Apple Podcasts up very soon. That's still a work in progress, but we're getting there. Make sure to follow on the social medias: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever you use.
Yeah.
We're
just CineChatters.
pretty much. Yeah. You'll find us. So.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, listening, and enjoying. And we'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Yeah. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.